It's your boy, the Ancient of Moo. I'm on the roof. For those followers of the channel, you guys know I'm on the west coast of Florida. We're looking for a snow event coming in. I'm not worried about the snow, and I don't think the snow is going to make it as far south as where I am. That being said, though, a gale warning has been issued. Usually during tropical storms and hurricanes, during hurricanes, I take all of my antennas down. During tropical storms, I usually only take the little ones down. All of my antennas, well, not all, most of my antennas are built in a way like the big 10-meter one here right in the front of the picture is, the wind profile's on it's like 74 miles an hour. So it's not going to get hurt unless there's a hurricane, pretty much. Now, my problem, though, is to the right over there are railroad tracks, which, if you're a long-time follower of the channel, you've seen the trains go by. On the other side of the tracks, there are a bunch of businesses, and I learned from hurricanes and tropical storms past that these guys just leave stuff laying around. So we're going to take down the two big antennas. You know, like I said, I ain't worried about wind. Obviously, ain't worried about snow and ice. But I'm worried about something blowing into my antenna, some big piece of metal or tin or something. And then it just ripping it right out of the top of my roof. And we're not going to allow that to happen. So we got our clippers. And here we go. We're going to start with the 10-meter antenna because it's probably the more difficult one, but it's not really that difficult. First thing we got to do is cut the zip ties that hold the cable in place. And once I get these antennas down, I'll probably do it off camera, but once I get the antennas down, we'll roll the cables up and secure them, stow them away. I cannot mention how important this tool is to me working on these antennas. A lot of these antennas have weird screws and you can't find them. They're difficult to replace. This is one of them magnetic bowls, baby. So any bolt that comes off goes in here and it just sits in there. And then when I go to put the antennas back up, probably Tuesday, we can go from there. You know, I have all the screws in one place. So let's get this puppy undone. I do have it tight. This is a Stereo 5/8 antenna. It's a banger. It's a banger. These things are like $130. If you can afford one and you have a way to mount it, highly recommended. This antenna's actually been hit by lightning before. Had to have the last telescopic section of it replaced by Stereo. That only took 3 months. So get the first coax out of here. All right, radials. We're going to take the radials off first. I have to be careful. I don't think you guys can see it. I think it's right below the camera line. Maybe you can. There's a black wire here that's a shortwave antenna. I'm going to leave it up because I ain't really worried about it. But let's get the radials off of here. Of course, this darn Stereo, there it goes. The screws that hold on these radials are slotted, of course, instead of my trusty, dusty, dandy, whatever you want to say, little Phillips that I've got there. I got 3 nuts here to loosen, where I'm hoping that the screw doesn't keep just sliding underneath. Which I think it's gonna. 1 radial. Ah. Let's try it this way. There we go. There we go. Come on, little baby, you can do it. It is so tight here because the U-bolt is right there, and I'm having to get under the U-bolt. Is it loose? Yes. 2 radials. Ah. 3 radials. Ah. Before anybody asks, this is just a 1-story house, and I have a low-profile roof because hurricanes. So I'm probably, the peak here is probably 20 feet, 21 feet in the air. Radials are gone. Next step's to get this bad boy off of here and undo all of the sections there. I'm taking the pole as well, so I'm just going to take the entire antenna. Top one loose. So this antenna is U-bolted to a 3-foot antenna mast style pipe. And this thing is a wobbly, but nothing like an A99 or something like that. I mean, I've looked into Antron 99s, Solarcon, or whatever they are, and I've looked into like, even Sirio has one that's all fiberglass, and you know, technically the fiberglass ones work real well, but on a windy day, you end up with an antenna like this till the wind subsides. The aluminum, that don't happen until you get, like I said, this one's rated at 74 or 75 miles an hour, so not a big issue. All right. Top part, telescopic. We take the screw out into the magic magnetized bowl there. First section. Into the magnetic bowl. Gosh, that's like the best investment. Seriously, people. I'm not like trying to sell you something off of Amazon or anything, but if you tinker around with antennas or any kind of mechanical things, really, seriously, a magnetic bowl will be your friend. Will be your friend. I've had that bowl literally upside down with bolts in it before. All right, first section, or I guess you'd say it's the second section. Again, undoing the screws right over top the magnetic bowl. A plane I'm right off the end of a runway. Well, not right off the end. I'm a few miles off the end of a runway. So we're in the pattern depending upon the wind. They're either taking off this direction or landing this direction. Another section. And then one more, and this will be manageable enough that I can get it in my house for the next couple of days. I work my day job tomorrow, I'll get off at 8 p.m. I don't want to be up here it should be rainy by then, 40 kind of thing degrees. I don't want to be up here at 9 o'clock doing this tomorrow night. So I decided to do it tonight, and I'll just do without the base stations for a couple days. Okie dokie there, disco citizens. This is a Serio GPE 5/8 wave. Recently it's been tuned for 11 meters, but you didn't hear that from me. And how many radios, kids? 3. Yes, you're right. Good job. Let me go put this over here by the ladder. All right, next, this one. That one. That is, what was it, 1, 2, it's 2 5-foot poles, and at the top is a GPE, I think it is. It's either a GPE, what is that? It's not a Serio, I forget. Anyway, it's a GMRS antenna. Putting 50 watts through that puppy. Florida's flat. Like, you got the whole county and the next county and the next county, and, well, there's water that way, but no problem talking to people for, 50, 60 miles. So you figure 10 feet plus the 21, so it's like 30 feet in the air where the radials are. All right, so the first one we're gonna cut. I hate doing this too. Well, no, I can leave that in place. I've got the lightning ground strap on it that I didn't want to go anywhere. Let's cut those cable ties and that cable tie. Leave the top ones up so we can get this puppy laid down. All right, got that one. These clippers in my pocket so I don't get my fingers pinched on anything here. This ground wire is giving me a hassle. Not anymore, it's not. When in doubt, cut it. All right. Just loosen the antenna and take it off the poles. Clip the last two zip ties here. Zing, zing. I didn't know that, did you? It's zip when you put it on and zing when you pop it off. All right, what do we need to make this thing come off? We need channel locks. Yeah, what was this thing? This is a GR100 for GMRS, specifically for GMRS. Had it for like 2 years. It's worked like a bat out of heck. It's fiberglass, but it's only one section, so it's I don't have to worry about it flopping around in the breeze too much. And when I put these up, I may put them in a different order. I may put this one in the center and the CB one over there. I mean, the 10 meter over there. Tell you what, though, talking about CB, a good antenna and legal power. A good antenna high up in the air with quality coax. And then all you need is just one of these shitty $20 CBs. You'll talk a long distance. Spend a little bit more and get you that sideband CB. I didn't have time to talk to him this morning, but you might have seen my short earlier as I was pulling up to work this morning. Europe's just banging in here on my radio in my car. And that's a Serial 5000 down there on the car. Radioddity QT40 in the car. Then it's got the Anytone name on it, but it's basically the Radioddity QT60. 60 is usually what I use for the base station. All right, there's one. I'll just get the other one off. All right. Now, one of the things I hate, and if you're an antenna manufacturer, I get why you do it because it's to protect it, but we can do that ourselves as radio operators. The coax goes up into this hole and the plug's up in here, right? And I totally get it. It weatherproofs it. But it doesn't stop it from having wasp nests. Didn't think about that one, did you? It also makes it extremely difficult to get these things off. Where is my magnetic bowl? There is my magnetic bowl. So the sleeve then pops off like that. And if I look at my cable, I mean, that connector's brand new, and this thing's been up here 2 years. So I get that it protects. You know, personally though, I would much rather have this plug in the open. Let me worry about weatherproofing it, especially because I live in Florida. I mean, we got 105-degree days here. Then we got hurricanes. You know, any tropical storm, it rains for 4 days. But yes, that is now off of there. Cable is freed. So yeah, it's got the sleeve in it. I actually had to take this from another radio because this one didn't fit the U-bolts properly. Put that on there and carefully put this screw back in. Hey, I don't know if you guys watch like watchmakers, but you'll see a lot of them. They take the watch apart, and as they take it apart and they get the parts off of it, they'll put the screws back in the holes just so they can figure out where the hell they go. And I totally get it. This hobby's obviously not as difficult, but I believe this is actually an SYS antenna. I believe it doesn't say on it other than its model number, GR100. Frequency 462 to 467. It should actually go to 468, but again, the guys who make the antennas don't usually make the radios either. So let's get this where I can get rid of it. Not taking the radials off of it because they're just little, what are those? 6 inches maybe. The big extension pole. Again, two 5-foot zinc antenna poles. Helps with noise too. The zinc is just, it reacts to electricity and radio waves a little different. We'll get this out of the way. This thing I can just literally just put on my back deck back here. All right, let's get the rest of these tools moved over. Now, the next step, take you out of the phone holder here. All right, so now we just get the cables in. It's pretty. Hard to believe that we might see snow in the morning. Other antennas I have, like I've got this the MLA 30 Plus here. It is with the wire upgrade. It's on PVC and then on just a cheap, what do you call those mounts for satellite dishes? Not worried about that one because it'll flex. And if it ruins it, I'll make another one. This antenna here, top one's the discone that goes to the scanner. The ring here, that's my FM antenna for, I got one of them really nice Sangean 40th anniversary wooden radios. The way this is attached to the house is cinder block and those are bolts. I'm not worried about this at all. During hurricanes, I will lower it down so that it's down here. But you figure Milton was a Cat 3 and we got hit direct, and that was just, the antennas were on it, I just dropped it down. Over here, this antenna, cheap. This is a vintage too. This thing's, and I haven't worked at Radio Shack in like 30 years, and I bought this at Radio Shack. It's a scanner antenna, but it's on PVC as well. Worst case scenario, PVC bends, not concerned. This is the antenna I use for our weather radio here in the house. Got antenna parts over there, and as we showed you, here's the, you can see the shortwave wire going here. Goes over this little wheel, goes down there. So now, last step on the roof, we gotta gently drop these cables down because we don't want to hit my wife's pretty red car. So we just want to drop them straight down. There's one. This is the KMR 400 I use just because it's a long run. This is for the GMRS one. Tell you what, if you ain't up for getting up and down, this hobby's not for you. All right, let's get this bad boy here. All right, so roof-wise, we're prepared for a gale. I'm about 1.5 miles off the Gulf where I'm at. Look in that direction. All right, guys. So I got all my parts to take inside. That RC down there is calling my name. Drink me. Drink me. Anyway, it's been fun. When I go to put all this back up, I'll probably go live for that. Tuesday, I think, is when I'll probably get a chance to put these back up. We'll do it live, and you can hang out with me while I test. 73 to everybody. That's not 73, that's 2. 73s to everybody. Your boy, Ancient Amumu. I'm almost to that 100 subscribers. And remember, I said when I get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to share a banana with my dog. Please don't let my dog down. He really likes bananas, okay? Oh, Like, subscribe, share, and tell your mom I said hi.